What is going on, everybody? It has been a minute. I haven't uploaded in a little while, mostly because of this. There's no trolling motor there. In one of my earlier videos, and when I say earlier, I mean probably my last video, I was out fishing and my trolling motor broke, and I actually recorded a video on me trying to fix it. Spoiler alert, it did not work, so I actually have it in the shop right now. We're kind of waiting on parts. Long story short, motherboard fried, the steering board fried, pretty well the whole thing fried. Not really too sure why it did that, but it did. But anyway, today's video we're going to be doing a little bit different things. Some of you may know I've taken up bait making. It's been a blast. It's the most expensive way to get cheap lures because the molds are so expensive. But speaking of molds, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own mold from just a few things laying around your house or pretty cheaply picked up at your local Walmart or hardware store, and a bait that you either made yourself or want to copy. I don't condone copying, but a guy gave me a what is it, a worm, a 15-inch worm that was made way back in like the way back before I was born, it sounds like. But I'm gonna try copying it and making a couple, and it actually looks pretty good. But essentially it'll be fiberglass resin, boat repair stuff that you can get at, again, your local hardware store, and you know, a tray to put it all in. Enough talking about it, let's start being about it. Come along for the ride. All right, so the things you're gonna need here are some Bondo fiberglass resin. Like I was saying, this is for like boat rebuilding and stuff like that, just your typical Bondo or typical fiberglass stuff, measuring cup, and a container, and the bait you want to copy. This is the bait, this is the worm. It is a monstrous worm, but you can tell this was hand carved, just kind of how the plastic lays and was poured. But essentially what we're going to be doing is on this side here, I've actually didn't need all this space because I only have one to make one slot, but essentially I took just a standard Rubbermaid organizer, put a piece of plexiglass on the middle, used a heat gun, and made a little compartment there so I don't use as much resin to fill all this up for one bait. So it does fit in here, it does lay in here pretty good. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this thing up, follow directions on the back. Looks like it's like 10 minutes of working time at 75 degrees. It doesn't say anything about the humidity, but it is like 90-some degrees outside, so there it is. Last time I did this, it took like 2.5 hours, and I had a mold that was ready to pour in. It was pretty wild. It was a lot quicker than I thought it was, or thought it would be anyway. So we'll kind of see how it goes this time. I'm going to be using a glass mixing cup because that's what I have. And actually the last time I poured it in there, I thought I ruined it. It peeled out, you know, once it cured. So pretty convenient on that side too. So anyway, I'm gonna mix this up and kind of walk you through what I'm doing. All right, I started out with 2 cups, and I've actually got the little hardener here. It comes with 2 33-ounce things of hardener. It says like 28 ounces of resin. You have to have 11 millimeters or 11 milliliters. That's not even freedom units of hardener. So that's just over, let's see, 2 cups is 16 ounces. So that's close enough for what we're working with. I really don't know if it really matters, but as long as there's hardener in it, I'm going to add some hardener to this. So I've got roughly a little bit more than half of 11 milliliters, so we'll call it 5 milliliters. So we'll add this in, stir it up, and then pour it in. Once I got it poured in, I'm going to take this and press it into the top to where the flat part is level with the top of the thing, and we'll see how it turns out. There is another way to do this. You can take this and actually, if I really wanted to do it, I might try it again on the other side, this side here, with another bait, and see if I can't get it to come out good. But yeah, hopefully, well, I mean, you could come through here with super glue and super glue it down and make a good seal all the way around. I don't want to do that because I don't think I could get this thing back out. But I do think, at least I have done it before, where I've poured it and then pressed this into the top. And it's turned out pretty good. So let's do that. All right, got it all mixed up and actually poured in here. You can kind of see how thick it is there. And now we're gonna lay this into the top. See if I can't get this going pretty good. Let's see, moment of truth. Oh no, that's not at all what I wanted. There's definitely, ooh, all over my shirt. Definitely an art to it, and the guys that do it make it look a lot easier than I'm making it look. Because I do not think I'm making it look that easy, but it's really not that bad. I'm just kind of a perfectionist on stuff like this, so I think that is actually the best one yet. You can kind of see how it's curvy. I don't think that'll affect how the baits turn out. Hopefully I didn't get too much of that stuff on my shirt and stuff, but yeah, essentially that's how you do it. It'll make a pretty well carbon copy of that right there. We're gonna let that cure for a little while and ooh, excuse me. We're gonna let that cure for a little while and see how that turns out. Okay, we're back before everything got set up. I didn't like it. It actually started sinking again. I'm not sure if this plastic, the last time I did this, I was not using a worm that was this big. I was actually trying to copy a robo worm, but it didn't turn out all that great, but I can show you that mold. It pours okay. I think because it's so small, it's not doing all that great, but this one is definitely doing a lot better. This laying here, letting it set up the actual fiberglass epoxy a little bit does wonders. It will not let it run over. This thing will cause a little bit of a curve in here in this general area. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I think this one's going to be the best one yet. It's actually, yeah, it's pretty well already set up. So I mean, heck, we're only 6 minutes into this, so we'll see how it does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is the mold here. You can kind of see how it warped a little bit. It did get hot. So two of the things that I now remembered that I did last time and wish I would have remembered, this thing does get hot. It gets very hot, actually. It hurts to touch it, but it's only been about an hour since we last poured it, and it is hard. It is very hard. Definitely do this in a well ventilated area. I've got 1, 2, 3 and both doors open. Should have had that door open, but it probably wouldn't have helped. And actually have these 2 fans, but that's more for me because it's hot. But anyway, we're gonna peel this thing out there and we're gonna see if we can't maybe pour one up tonight and see how it goes. All in all, so far it's only taken about an hour, and that's from start to finish. So we'll see if I can't get this one out and pour one up. All right, so the worm came out a lot better than expected. I just picked it up and peeled it out. This method does really well for things like worms, lizards, and probably very, very small swim baits. I would not recommend doing this with things that have a lot of detail or things that are very thick. I could see like this mold will not bend like at all, and it will you're gonna have to peel it all out completely, but I am gonna let this thing flatten back out because the mold, this thing got so hot, and I'm telling you, you might be able to see that this worm still has some of the resin on it, but not really the resin. It's sticky because it's hot. This thing used to not have all these details, and it used to be very not shiny. Now it's pretty shiny because it got that hot. So we're gonna pop this thing out and we're gonna try to pour one. All right, so here goes the first pour. Just kind of got like a quarter of a cup. I don't know if that's gonna be enough, but a quarter of a cup is in fact enough of plastic. Right now, that's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty pumped about that. Still got some bubbles up in here, up in this general area, but a lot of that's because I'm using remelt plastic that's been sitting out in the garage for a long time, so it's got some moisture in it, but a lot of those bubbles will go away if you hit it with a heat gun. Me personally, not gonna be selling this one. Just trying to show you guys a proof of concept, so we'll let this cool down and I'll show you guys the side-by-side comparison after it comes out. All right, let's demold. And would you look at that? The same worm. There's one. There's the other. You would never know. Ooh, I don't know if you guys see that because I really don't know what we're looking at there, but yeah. Side-by-side comparison. Looks pretty good. I think to get this really right, I would have to hang it up, you know, vertical, like so, like this. And let it cure like that for the night. Maybe I'll just, you know, stick it like right there. But overall, looks pretty good. Worked pretty good. That is a yeah, wow, I forgot what I was gonna say there. Anyway, that is how you guys make your own bait molds out of a out of some just stuff that you can find at the grocery store. If you really like that, I'll be doing some more of these maybe. That is now a great mold and we'll be using it more and more. So like I said, this thing, some of the learning points that I learned from this, I've done it once before, but some of the learning points I learned from this one and a recap of the last one. Do this in a well ventilated area. This does get hot, and fun fact, plexiglass will not break off of that, so it will come out very well out of this Rubbermaid organizer thing. It works great. Just pops straight out. The only problem that I had was with the plexiglass wall divider that I made. I actually had to cut it on the bandsaw, but overall I didn't have this like an hour ago. Made it in an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, and that's from hey, I'm gonna make a bait to now I have a mold and a bait. So very quick, very fast. This thing cured, honestly it probably cured in a half hour. I was just making some other baits, some of these baits. The color's nice, but the baits weren't all there. They're kind of rushed. Did that on TikTok live, but yeah, I'd highly recommend this. This is a great way to make your own baits and just to get started. I think all in all, you might be 30-40 bucks involved with making your own, and you can make a lot of baits out of that gallon of resin. I mean, this thing here, 2 cups, and honestly, probably could have got away with a cup and a half, a cup, maybe not a cup, but definitely a cup and a half. Very easy, very fun. could make you a lot of molds. Anyway, thanks again for tagging along. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do end up, you know, making some molds like this, take a picture of it, put it on your Instagram, tag me on Instagram, CW Outdoor Adventures. I'd love to see what you guys make and what you guys come up with. So thanks again for tagging along for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe click on another one, subscribe, all that fun jazz. Share, tell your friends about us. But anyway, catch you on the next one.